Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Ghislaine Maxwell's Secret New Escape Plan. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we're going to ask you to post a link to today's show on all your social media to help get the word out. Now, let's get started. According to published reports, one of Ghislaine Maxwell's fellow inmates was offered money to murder her and planned to strangle her in her sleep. This was revealed by her attorney. This claim was made in court papers in which Maxwell's lawyers pleaded for leniency ahead of her June 28th sentencing. One of the female inmates in Miss Maxwell's housing unit told at least 3 other inmates that she'd been offered money to murder Maxwell and that she planned to strangle her in her sleep, according to the lawyer. Now, the inmate claimed that an additional 20 years in prison would be worth the money she would receive for killing Maxwell. The lawyer wrote, the inmate was ultimately sent to special housing unit. This is commonly known as solitary confinement, presumably to protect her, according to the lawyers. This incident reflects the brutal reality that there are numerous prison inmates who would not hesitate to kill Miss Maxwell, whether for money, for fame, or for simple street cred. So we thought about this, and we're going to pose a hypothetical question. If there were indeed attempts being made to kill Ghislaine, what would her best options be? Well, she has a number of them. She could ask the courts to transfer her to another prison, but you've got to figure that wherever she goes, the people would probably be willing to come after her for the money as well. Now, another option would be to pay people inside to protect her, but that may not really work. If she hired a group of prison thugs, then they would probably end up extorting more and more money from her over time. People like that almost always keep raising their price to keep you alive. Once they find out how much money she and Jeffrey had or still have, then it's probably only a matter of time before they put a real financial squeeze on her. They could keep raising their price every month. Who knows? Another option is to keep pressing forward with her legal process in the hopes that she wins an appeal at some point and gets set free or released for time served. Do we think she will win this appeal? Who knows? Anything is possible in our legal system. The problem is, can she stay alive long enough to win an appeal or to get relocated to another prison? It sounds like someone out there is already offering big money to fellow inmates to bump her off. Who could that be? I suspect there are a lot of billionaire friends of hers at Jeffrey's, or former friends I should say, who are scared to death of certain info about them getting made public, and they would gladly pay people to see her disappear. So what's the next option? Well, another option is for her to escape. Now, we don't know if she's actively considering an escape option for this. We don't even know if anyone has ever escaped from the prison she's being held in. But hypothetically, almost any prison can be escaped from with the right plan and enough money being spread around. I mean, after all, decades ago, they even once escaped from Alcatraz, and that's in the middle of the Pacific. So anything is possible with the proper application of money and willpower and persistence. Now, if she was going to escape, could it be done? Well, she would probably have to pay off the guards and prison management. She would probably need help on the outside to transport her to her final destination. I'm guessing she would want to flee to either Israel, where she has a lot of powerful influence, or she would have to go to one of the 20 non-extradition countries like Brazil or Kuwait or Iran. Would any of them accept her? Maybe if she paid them enough money, then they might give her some kind of unofficial safe harbor until the media found out where she was. But once the media found out, then they would apply a tremendous amount of public pressure to have the government send her back to the U.S. What about the possibility of escaping and then surgically changing her identity so that it would be extremely difficult to identify her in public? Well, let's examine that hypothetical possibility. She could theoretically have plastic surgery to change her face and destroy her fingerprints. She could have gender reassignment surgery to become a man. I think if she did that, if she became a male, then that would make it almost impossible for anybody to identify her in public. At that point, they would need to sample her DNA to figure out if it was really her. But that's difficult because they would have to first know it's her, because you can't just keep walking up to strangers, men everywhere you go, who you suspect might be her, and ordering them to give you a DNA test. That's just not practical. Another question becomes, if she were to escape to a non-extradition country, could enough pressure ever be applied to her to force her back to the US? Probably not. In cases like that, what some intelligence agencies like to do is they'll send in a special team to kidnap her in the middle of the night and force her onto a plane and get her back to the US. These are just hypotheticals, and obviously no one really knows what she may or may not do, but if people really are planning to do her in prison, then she may get desperate enough to do just about anything. Or she may not, and they may eventually get to her. Who knows? We'll have to just stay tuned to find out what happens. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.